One of the things that did not come through for the former governor, Terry McAuliffe, was a statute passed on Build Back Better and infrastructure, something that people thought might help him, actually, because of how it reflected on the Democratic Party and President Biden. Is it just too late for that at this point?
Well, you're right. Terry wanted that bill passed, and so did we. The Senate sent that bill to the House a couple months ago now, and beginning in early October, we were urging the House get that bill on Joe Biden's desk. It will help in Virginia because Terry, as you know, it's kind of unusual to be running a reelection campaign. Virginia governors just served one term, but Terry served and then sat out, and he's running again as he's eligible to do. So he could have taken an infrastructure bill and said, hey, folks, I already know the projects. I already know the communities. I know what's needed, and this money can help me. But, look, the House, to their credit, they were saying we'll pass that infrastructure bill as soon as the Senate gives us essentially reason to believe that there will be a reconciliation bill as well. So I was leaning on my Senate Democratic colleagues. Let's go ahead and make a deal so the House can send this bill over. I do think the announcement of the framework the other day means that we will get both of these bills done. I hope that might help a little bit at the close, but it sure would have been better for Terry had the House sent that infrastructure bill to the president weeks ago.
Well, I wonder in the dynamics up there on Capitol Hill whether your friend, Senator Joe Manchin, the Democrat from West Virginia, could have helped on that a bit if when asked he'd said, yes, I will adhere to this framework, we will get this done. Some people thought that if he just pledged to that, that would have been enough to take it over the top so they could have gone forward on the bipartisan infrastructure bill.
Look, I don't tell any other senators how to vote, and I am mindful of this, David. You can't do a bill like this under reconciliation until you lock down all your votes, and we'd like to lock them down sooner rather than later. But remember, when the Republicans held the majority in 2017 and they had the White House, both houses and the White House, they had an opportunity to do the one thing they most wanted to do, and that was repeal the Affordable Care Act. Now, that would be their top goal. I still don't get it, but that was their top goal. But they forced a vote on the floor of the Senate when they didn't have 50 votes. They had 52 Republicans, but they lost 3 votes, and Democrats were able to save health insurance for 25 or 30 million people. So when the margins are this thin, the majority can't push the vote until it has the votes. I wish my colleagues had reached a deal earlier. I'm a budget committee member. I helped write the framework in August and felt like we can knock this thing out in about 4 weeks. It's taken too long, but Chuck Schumer couldn't afford to put this bill on the floor and have it fail. I do believe now, I'm actually very confident we'll get an infrastructure bill that the Senate passed bipartisan. We'll get a reconciliation bill that will do profound good for Virginians and all Americans. Might I have liked it sooner? Sure. But we're going to get something really positive, and better to get that positive than a premature vote and lose it.
So let me push you a little bit. You've been good enough to make a couple of predictions. When? Is it going to be before Christmas?
Yeah, here's what my gut tells me right now. I think the infrastructure bill will go to Biden's desk within the next 10 days. And I think the reconciliation bill will be voted on by the Senate right before the Thanksgiving recess. We've come up with the framework. We're working on the legislative language. I'm a member of the Health and Education Labor Pension Committee, so the workforce, education, healthcare pieces are heavily in the committee I'm on with my chair, Patty Murray of Washington. But we've got the basic components of the bill, and I think you'll see the Senate voting on it in the framework that the House will find acceptable. I think you'll see us voting on it right before Thanksgiving.